There have always been heroes, but our awareness of them has changed as our means to share stories about them evolved. In the age of mass media, the flood of stories made the term nearly meaningless. After the fall, as news was once more passed by word of mouth, these rare and revered individuals became what they once were: legends.
Welcome. I'm coming to you in black and white because fucking Halloween. Welcome. And welcome to North Hollywood, Josh. We appreciate him coming by to play with us in our fucked up post-apocalyptic wasteland. We are going to pick up from last week. If you didn't see last week, it's available now on the 819 YouTube channel, right, Shannon?
This one has, I haven't posted it yet, but it's still available here on Twitch as a VOD.
It will trickle down to YouTube.
It'll trickle down.
Time.
Yes.
Okay, right, perfect. I think we're going to lead off, because we didn't do it last time, with the first-person intros. So let's pull up the whole cast. And Mr. Flanagan, you do not need to do one of these. This is to introduce our core cast to audience who either may not have met these characters, or maybe was watching and was too drunk or high to remember. It was so much fun, it like blanked their memory. So let's begin with, because he goes by Lord, let's start with Lord Navad.
Hello, I'm Lord Navad. I'm roughly 19 or 20 years old. No one knows for sure. I'm tall, lanky. I have a very emo haircut, which you can't tell. I wear wizard robes. Because I'm a wizard, my skulls are pupils, and I am invested with the power of and spirit of Bastion, our home base. And with that, I'll turn it over to one of my colleagues.
Did you say your skulls are pupils? Your pupils are skulls.
Oh, my pupils are skulls. Did I say my skulls are pupils?
You sure did.
Well, that's a different look, man.
Yeah, my skull is anyway. Sorry. Well, boy,
you turn yourself into a beholder in 3 moves.
Yes, my skull is a big eye bag.
Let's go ahead and introduce Agent Goldwater, please.
Hello, I'm Special Agent Goldwater of the IRS. Some people call me intense. I am pale with a snake tongue. But other than that, I look generally human. I go around the wasteland making sure people pay their taxes and fill out their forms. And if they don't, I check in with them a few more times. If they still don't pay their taxes, then I audit them. They don't like that.
He has a very nice suit that is pretty much always creased at this point. He has a lot of weapons he carries for the auditing process. And since a few episodes ago, he always wears a very particular multicolored scarf, which is extra jazzy compared to the kind of monochromatic presentation of the rest of his gear. And last, but certainly not least, certainly as of anyone that admires style, intelligence, or the feline persuasion, is the erstwhile Professor Pickles. Professor?
Professor Pickles. Professor Pickles is a cat. It's mostly an unassuming cat. You'd look at it and think, oh, well, that's just a cat. But actually, Professor Pickles is one of very few ultra cats in existence, which are telekinetic in abilities and incredibly hyper intelligent. Appropriate for the season, Professor Pickles is a straight black cat that formerly had her hair in a bit of a dishevelment, but it has since been several months, and she's a bit more preen and proper again, as much as you can be for the wasteland.
So, Pickles, we never explored this, but since you brought it up, is Pickles actually a straight black cat?
Oh, absolutely not. if we're talking in the persuasion, I think we're talking then absolutely not. I mean, for context for all the viewers, as far as me, the player, is concerned, the only thing that's hetero about me is my heterochromia, and that's about it.
Well, I'm always welcome for people cross-playing either way. So theoretically, I mean, you can play whatever the hell you want, right? Gaming is for everyone, people.
It's true. I just like the thought of a queer cat just roaming the landscape trying to find.
In fact, before you became a regular, they know a pretty queer cat boy who was running a bar for them, and was a lovely fellow. Who they at the Nine Lives was the bartender for a long time.
That's right. I also,
right.
just a quick observation, Kdin, I did not know you had heterochromia. So
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to look at your eyes the next time we're in.
I have what is called central heterochromia, where the color of the outside of my eyes and the inside are different colors.
Oh, so
I thought
you're not rocking the David Bowie.
There is pure heterochromia, there is central heterochromia, and then there's partial heterochromia. Partial is where you have like a little splotch.
Oh,
full is half and half, and then central is in and out.
In and out.
See, I thought this is all going back to sexuality, and I thought that meant you had straight eyes.
No.
We could look. We'll circle back eventually. Don't worry, it'll happen.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get
I
there.
thought it was like a form of male gaze.
It's straight eye for the queer.
Exactly. Wow. Nice. And,
Boom.
the win. All right. All right. So let's catch you up here. For 2 weeks, I'm going to have to read what I wrote. For 2 weeks, the TDF, Texan Defense Force. So this term will be important to two of the people currently on the stream. I would think Tank and Goldwater would be very keen to know these kinds of terms. They've been fighting back against Kurz and his allies. So it's basically unnecessarily not anachronism. When a bunch of letters,
Acronym.
Thank you.
Yes.
Acronym. Thank you. So the military is actually, they call themselves just the New American Military. So TDF is a specific term for the force put together to do what you've been doing. Tank and Grendel have been coordinating the effort. Grendel is the character played a few episodes back. He played for a couple episodes. Again, editor note, you can go back and catch up if you like. They've been coordinating the effort with the help of the leaders of Bastion, notably Special Agent Goldwater. So effectively, these people are part of command currently, including Pickles, because Pickles is, of course, as Pickles will occasionally remind you without being asked, smarter than most human beings and is kind of invaluable in a think tank or a command group. A forward command center has been established just outside College Station. In an old state trooper facility, the locals have nicknamed Bunker 13. They call it that in reference to an old movie, and because it looks physically, it's brutalist architecture, so it looks very bunker-like. Also because it was a state trooper facility, it has a built-in garage, and in and out was very defensible and was easy to go in and out of with the vehicles you have and to maintain them. So it was a place that was centrally located and a little bit north that you could command from. The effort has been going well. 3 settlements have been reclaimed. Huzzah! So far, you're not done. Dozens of refugees have been moved to safety. Huzzah, huzzah. And dozens more have deserted, leaving Kurz's forces and joining the TDF. That is 4 more huzzahs that I won't say. Tank has been a pivotal and highly visible reason for this success. His presence has motivated everyone who has seen him in action. So currently, this group, did I lose something? Oh, that's weird. I think I did lose something. Oh, well, I remember what's there. You're all here in the facility currently, and with, I had numbers though. Oh, well, so yeah, there it is. You're here, forces out, they're doing recon. You have with you 4 of Tank's soldiers and 4 militia. So there are 8 NPC armed, trained people with guns helping you defend this position. There is also a medic, and the medic has demanded the tank take some R&R, take a couple, 3 days. I'm assuming that was 2-3 days of like browbeating, and you understand that I answer to a higher authority, and I don't mean God. Do I have to get the vice president involved, really? But finally, the tank was talked down and is relaxing, but is not out on the battlefield. So how does this particular group of people, how are you dealing with life in Bunker 13? For example, Tank, are you taking it easy, or is the medic have to constantly come back in and make sure you lay down, don't tear out your stitches? Like, how are you a good patient, bad patient?
Are you asking me now, or is this?
I am asking you right now. I did not put a big enough comma. I will rephrase as a more clear question. Are you a good patient, comma, or a bad patient?
My goodness, I've had a lot of dominatrices ask me this. I think I'm probably like, it comes and goes. I think I probably I'm able to relax for a minute, but then I get antsy and I start doing I think things that I might find relaxing, like sharpening a knife. Other people might see as mission prep, and I'm like, no, this is my Zen place. This is the rhythm of the stone on the blade is brings me peace. But people go, no, you're just sharpening a knife because you're already thinking about killing someone again. I go, well, you got me.
It's actually pretty calming too, like that, the roughness.
Yeah.
Whether or not Tank's full of crap, like for sure, that is actually a pretty calming thing. Although it seems like he's so much of a double spicy meat steak that you might actually at some point sharpen most of the knife away. He's also very strong. I think at some point you'd have like a steak knife, because the knife would have.
It's basically like a punji stick at this point, or like an ice pick. Yeah.
Goldwater, how are you with not doing much for a while?
There's always things to learn and read. I probably spend an inordinate amount of time in the garage watching people fix cars, which is not something I've done before, but now I have the opportunity to just watch people fix cars. And it seems rather interesting and fascinating, the way they work and what's broken and how you fix it. Like, that fits into Goldwater's brain really well.
Oh, not counted among the 8 with the guns, there would be an engineer back here. We're going to call him Wrench. Okay. Wrench is back here, and a lot of these people that are in this special unit that was assigned to Tank are part of his cult of personality, and we're drawn in by, the man with the plan and the biceps. But that does mean they're generally very gung-ho and very positive about what they're doing. So I imagine he would show you and explain, and would ask you questions like, well, what's your job? And unlike a lot of other people you run into, he seems legitimately interested and fascinated.
Okay, well, he'll learn a lot about probably how the IRS recruits people and what that's like, and what the training is like, and how intense it is, and monastic and all that.
So a bunch of the stuff that's probably rolling around in your brain in the buffer that people cut you off before you get to say all of it. I imagine because Wrench is alone a lot and just works, you become like his radio, and he does not mind at all if you're just talking.
Okay. I mean, I'm not really, Goldwater's not really a talker in general, but I think he's been wanting to talk about what his life was like before coming to Texan for a while. So Wrench is going to hear a lot of it. If he doesn't stop me, I'll just tell him more.
Well, and he will also occasionally ask clarifying questions. He's not just tuning you out, right. But he's effectively co-working, right?
Gotcha.
Like, he's focused on what he's doing, but it'll be like, oh yeah, what was that like? That kind of shit.
No, yeah, he's interacting with a podcast.
Yeah, exactly right. Professor, so who are you, just walking around being a cat in the base, or has someone else taken up the assistant role?
At this point, I think Professor Pickles would just be kind of wandering around, getting a little bit more of the lay of the land, but never wandering too far from Goldwater's position, mostly because at this point, Pickles really trusts Goldwater's intuition. Goldwater's been in this area a little bit more longer at this point, and seems to be the last one to make a decision for any particular important choice, and can and usually does sway the party one way or the other. So Pickles has kind of picked up on those things and tends to linger around when Lena's not there with Goldwater, just based off of the hierarchy of this particular group. Trusts Goldwater's intuition, wants to always defer if need be to someone, and Goldwater is the trusted individual.
So
Goldwater. I think I also am probably the closest in attitude to Lena.
Yeah.
And responsibility level. So
Yes.
I'll also be trying to like mimic what I've seen Lena do for the professor, and try to anticipate needs as best I can.
There's only one person who would probably be even closer, but even so, that's accidental at this point. And almost unfortunate.
Let me go ahead and interject a little bit of rules thing here. The way advancement works in Nuked is at the end of an episode, or sometimes the end of every 2 episodes, depending on how often your group plays, your characters all get an advance. Advance can be raising a skill, getting a feat. If you're using the optional settlement rules, which will be in the updated revised version 2, you can do that as well. How it's relevant here is there is a rule in place where if you want to manifest one of those advances in a session, you can. It's effectively a trial period. So you could say, like, remember the episode where Goldwater was, wow, that feat for spraying with your automatic weapon, that was cool. You could theoretically take that feat for the rest of the session. And if you liked it, that's your advance and you keep it. The reason I mentioned it, it allows for more organic character growth. The reason I mentioned it here, Kdin, I don't think Pickles has scruff, right?
Let me double check, actually. No.
Okay, so scruff is, you've learned to use your telekinesis to lift yourself up by the scruff of your own neck and move yourself around, allowing you to levitate up to 2 meters off the ground and fly as quickly as an average human can walk. This requires concentration. While you're levitating yourself, you can't do anything else, including communicate using your telepathy. But obviously, in some cases, it's really helpful to get from A to B. So I was wondering, because this seems like a situation where you might manifest that extra flourish to your telekinesis. If you wanted to, we can try before you buy manifest scruff for you.
Yeah, I think so. I think that'd be fun.
Okay, so from time to time, Goldwater, you'll see Pickles just lift up like an invisible person, has got her by the scruff, and like go onto a table or something, plunk. And from time to time, and I imagine not as often initially, but as she gets more confident, like I think at first it'll be boosted jumps, and instead of being like a cat leap, it's more of like a little kid playing with a toy going whoop. But then eventually, Pickles will learn how to carry themselves down a hallway, which will look freaky as hell. So you know, I'm a kitty cat. So the kitty cat would go around like that with the weird cat shoulders. All right, cool. Navad.
Yes.
So this place is very magic dead. So this is one of the places where you have to cast magic in this concrete building with very little living things or magic connection or anything. It's not as bad as the World Dome was, but it's like lighting a fire in a light rain.
Gotcha. It's damp. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, so it's up to you, but one possibility is this would mean you'd spend a little more time outside, just because I think the the magicness of the air is more comfortably outside the concrete building.
Yeah.
But that's up to you.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to wander around. Also, because I'm sort of have this connection to Bastion and I'm not in Bastion, I want to sort of maximize and sort of test out like psychically how connected I can be depending on where we are.
So over the past couple of weeks, Bastion has been tested. It's been, they do those little test attacks to make sure the defenses are in place. A couple of those have happened.
Okay.
And you can feel it. But generally, your connection has grown and become stronger. Like it's becoming, like we saw in the game we played, the defense we played, you had a couple of fires and one break through the wall, but generally it held up really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd imagine you'd be pretty confident. Like if it had gone poorly, I think we'd get a very Jedi like, oh my God.
a grave disturbance and the
Yeah.
Yes, 1,000 voices cried out as if yes. Okay. Yeah, so I guess I'm feeling good.
Cool. One of the people here, that's one of the soldiers, we'll call them Murray, comes over and finds Pickles and Goldwater, and they're just kind of hanging out together, talking with Wrench. And not a lot's going on. You're waiting for one of the main chunks of your group to come back from a recon job, and they're due. They're a little overdue, but not much. Not enough to be concerned, but it's enough that you're a little bored. And certainly, I think Tank is ready to get back on the road. Wrench is also to the point where all the stuff that you've got in the garage is repaired. So he's tinkering around with adding some extra armor plating, that kind of stuff. And Murray comes in. Professor, I'm hearing something coming in over the commnet. You can probably check it out.
All right. Do we want to patch it through then?
Okay, so the commnet, to catch anybody up who doesn't know what that is, that's the weird jury-rigged super janky system that they've connected because the version of the telephone system we have is fiber optic. A dead fiber optic line is not something that's easily hackable, so it's basically just dead fiber optics. So instead, they've gone through power lines and modulated signal over the power lines to go point to point. And they have a network, but you have to have a receiver station. So it's a little like doing, I'm going to stop trying to come up with proper nouns because my brain is apparently broken today. You know what I mean. Point being, you need the receiver station. So there isn't really a patch it over. You have to go over to the receiver. So it's like having a Wells Fargo, like, he's got to pull you over and or go Andy Griffith show, like, we've got a phone call. You got to go over to the phone call building.
Okay. Then then Pickles would definitely be going over to the to figure out what this is.
Will Goldwater act as Pickles' handler at this point?
Yep.
Okay, so Pickles, are you self-flying, or are you allowing Goldwater to carry you in your carrier?
I think since this is a low stake situation, let's go with self-flying just to flex a little bit.
Okay, so up you go. And I assume Goldwater would have the carrier regardless, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so you head over, and there's the person, we're going to call them Phones, who's the radio operator, and they allow you to listen. And it's a simple repeating message. And it says, so somebody's hacked into the command signal, which is unusual. So this is somebody, Pickles would know this. It's somebody, one of the things that was a point of the system that was a good point was hacking in and decoding it. It was really rough. So you weren't worried about your signals being caught. This is very military, right? The whole thing where you don't want your comm system being intercepted by the enemy. So this is like, oh shit. But what it says is, we are next gen. We are allies. A truck is approaching. It is not hostile. It repeats 2 more times and stops. To answer the obvious, no one knows what next gen means other than the obvious. Obvious being it's a term that means next generation.
Perhaps potential allies.
Possibly potential threat still too. You can't just broadcast through this. You have to do things in a certain way to actually be able to send a signal like this in this manner. So they're either very bright and trying to be very cautious, or very smart and trying to catch other people off guard.
Should I alert Tank, ma'am?
Alert Tank, but don't tell him that this is dangerous. Just be ready.
All right. Should I have him meet outside?
Yes.
Cut to the entire party, being all the people that we have cameras on, is outside. Not at all shockingly. It's weird how that works. And all you've been told, Tank, is that someone is approaching.
What you got for me, Hovercat?
Well, there appears to be a coded message that we were able to get in through comms, and they proclaim themselves to be next gen and also not a threat. Now, I've never heard the term next gen, but I tend to assume that everyone is some kind of threat, even if they don't perceive themselves to be. So,
from the roof to the north.
Well, it looks like they're upon us. Goldwater, thoughts?
Let's let them get a little bit closer until we see them, and then give them the halt sign.
Won't have you make rolls, because you would re-roll until you make it, because you have plenty of time. At various points, you all have eyes on what's approaching, which is a modified cement mixer. So it's not approaching real quick.
Is it Mega Weapon?
Sorry?
No, Mega Weapon was a dump truck. Sorry. Remember Mega Weapon from Warrior of the Lost World?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Mega Weapon.
So Tank, through, it's completely fair to think you've got some binoculars. It's got tech stuff on it. So kind of take, the way storm chaser vehicles look, where they've got lots of like pods and wiring, and there's a lot of that stuff stuck to the body of the cement mixer, but it still has the main mixer to the tank. It's approaching fairly slowly. Like most vehicles on these uneven roads, we've already determined can only go about 20 to 30. They start to rattle pretty bad at 40. This is going a good solid 15.
Well, it doesn't seem to be approaching, as any sort of bomb type vehicle. And the only time I've ever heard the term next gen was when my mother would talk about something called a PlayStation 2. So I've got no frame of reference for this. Should we go out and meet them part way? Should we send a party out so that we don't put them within distance of being able to do some kind of critical attack?
So Kdin, if it did have a bomb, since you mentioned it, cement mixer would be an excellent way to focus something and have it.
Yeah. All right. I think we should have a group of your men out there, armed, ready, but not everyone. We need to leave some people behind. So let's have
bear in mind they've only got super shitty walkie-talkies. So if you do that, you'll be communicating back and forth. Truck, like that.
We need to keep a distance. We need to keep a distance of this truck to our little sanctuary here.
Let's see if they respond to a wave and a halt sign. So I'll just give the. And then
they approach to far but not distant range, so they're over there, and they stop on their own.
Okay. Well, somebody's driving it. I thought maybe it would be automated.
Two people get out, one from each side. One is wearing a lab coat and a silver featureless mask with the letter for Epsilon painted on it. And on the other side is a goblin. And it's a little goblin, looks like a tech, like has a vest with tools and things like that.
I'll give him a wave. I don't see any reason not to go forward. We're better armed than they are.
That's true. How many of us are going?
I mean, I'll go on my own. I've done it before.
Tank, would you like to accompany Goldwater?
Sure, I probably can't die. Let's do it.
Sounds good. We'll start walking forward, put our boots to the pavement.
So Navad and Pickles stay a little bit behind watching them.
Yeah, that's I think that makes the yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna be watching.
Yeah.
So the little tech starts climbing on the back of the vehicle and like checking gauges and doing like tech work. The fellow in the lab coat walks up to you at a even, not at all hurried pace.
What time of day is it, Mike?
It is mid-afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Agent.
And there's a little bit of he's got like the speaker in the mask thing, so he isn't doing this, but there's a little bit of a buzz as the speaker outputs his own voice.
Gotcha. I'm IRS Special Agent Goldwater. This is Captain New America. You're from Next Gen, you said?
I am. I am Epsilon.
I thought so. So what are you here for?
Well, we are what's left of the various factions that inhabited the World Dome until very recently.
I had a feeling.
This is in some ways an olive branch, as I'm sure you're aware, but I will state out loud like a bad movie for people listening to this that don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. The World Dome was a science-torium kind of place before the fall. It's the kind of place that would have pro-science exhibits in it. After the fall, it was inhabited by scientists, people that were futurists, and some of them were actually kind of science cultists. Again, editor's note. I got to get like a stamp. We got to work on this call. We need like a stamp to be editor's note, like in Marvel Comics. Well, Wild Colt says, but their existence is one of the reasons there is now a neural connection between D and Lita, because they were subjected to experiments. So the last we saw of these people, they had allied with Curse, and the reason it was believed that came to pass is Curse had made some kind of a deal with the angels, which is why normally a little more, I promise less exposition as the episode goes on, but this is important if you don't know it. The angels, generally if a warlord gets powerful enough, they direct Skyfire down, they blow his shit up because the angels don't want any threat to their primacy and their ability to remove the precious plastic for which they have been involved in the world's evolution for thousands of years. Curse somehow negotiated past that by promising them faster deliveries. Something they found in an episode, God knows what. They actually had a tete-a-tete. They had a one-on-one with an angel who offered to throne with them. That went to shit and resulted in Skyfire. That was a very people jumping away from explosions kind of a moment. So we haven't seen these people until now. So he says some tiny portion of that because he knows you know. And it doesn't know that the tank knows, but definitely knows that Goldwater knows. What I don't think you know is we were hit by Skyfire at the Dome. Apparently, whatever it was that Curse was going to do for us, he failed to do. And fortunately, we've been, I think paranoia is overstating it. Reasonable caution, being scientifically minded, and being rationalists. Betrayal seemed almost inevitable, so we reinforced against skyfire, which is effectively intense radioactivity from a satellite. And he removes the mask, and he is basically like one of the subterranean mutants from Planet of the Apes. So he has significant radiation scarring. And those of you that have been there, which I think is all of you except for Tank. You were never there, Goldwater?
Nope.
They would have told you though that there were a lot of them were unmutated or had mutations or cybernetics, but it was connected to experiments. So this is a new thing, probably because of the skyfire. So he puts the mask back on. We currently have no relationship, the survivors anyway, with Curse. And as I said, this is an olive branch. And he points and waves. Let me get a proper name for you. I don't have one easily, so I won't. I'll just use Pickles. Hey, Pickles. And he points, and there's a bzzz, and the big the drum. I don't know if there's a proper name. The drum on the mixer tilts up as they do when it would pour, when it was actually used for that. And you can both see the little guy has one of those cabled remotes you would use for things like industrial elevators. And he's obviously controlling this. There's another sound, which is the back of it dropping down, big heavy clunk. And then there's a very distinctive sound that I'm pretty sure Goldwater has heard. I don't think Tank has in his time yet. It is effectively mecha. So these big war machine things make a very specific, like heavy thing moved by powerful hydraulics kind of a noise. We all know from movies what that sounds like, and we can assume movies are reality. And so something heavy gets out of the back of the thing, and you can see that the whole, before you see it first, which is a nice cinematic setup delivery, right? You don't see it, but you see the vehicle lift up as the weight of the thing gets out. And it comes walking around the corner. And yeah, it is a 9 foot tall humanoid machine. It's a battle suit looking thing.
So that's us.
Yes, it's as heavily armored as we could manage without reducing mobility to the point where it would be like a damaged tank. The problem with these things is if they're mobile enough, they're superior to tanks because they can go places tanks can't. But it's very difficult to get a bipedal form to take that much mass at speed. We've armed it with a mass driver that you can load with anything. So as long as you can get it down to chunks the size of a shotgun shell, there's a bin in the back. Spend some time between assignments chopping up heavy things. Metal works best. Rebar works amazingly well. Throw it in the tank in the backpack, and it can fire those things. The only limitation there is he goes around explaining that the weapon will always fire at the end of the round, which is real. Like capacitors have to charge, but basically that weapon always shoots last. So it uses electricity. It's electrically powered. Its capacitors allow for up to an hour of operation on a maximum charge, which takes 10 hours in the charger. Also in the vehicle, we have a dedicated generator and gear for the charger. So we can probably, assuming we're able to stay around long enough, up that operational time gradually over time. But for now, I think the hour, if you are involved in either an onslaught or a siege situation, I think your engagement need turns to tank. The engagement's going to often be shorter than an hour, right?
Typically.
All right.
Much less.
And he gestures, and the little guy hits a button, and the top goes up, and you see that the compartment where the pilot is just a cat chair. There's actually no room for a human. So this is an olive branch to you, but also an apology to the Feline Council. I don't know if you were aware, but we were intended to be a new society.
Maybe you should say this to someone.
Well, they did. They did. I waved beckoningly very clearly.
I know we had to make sure you weren't a threat. You understand?
Absolutely. I can remain here, and you could go hopefully get them.
Yes. Just one moment. Captain, if you would stay with our guests.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, they just were making general assumptions about where a tank can and cannot go, and I can go anywhere.
Oh, they meant
Fine.
the vehicle, the tank, not you.
Oh, I understood, but I thought it was a careless comment. I just want to put that out there, that a tank, not all tanks are made of metal. Some are made of patriotism, and those can go anywhere.
He goes by the nickname Tank, so apologies for not explaining that.
Oh, our oversight. So you go. What do you tell Pickles?
And Lord too. These are remnants of the scientists. It seems as though their dome was destroyed by a skyfire, and now they're apologizing to us, and I think trying to set up an alliance. And they specifically said they wanted to apologize to the Feline Council, and I figured it was better for you to hear that from them than for me.
All right, I'll hear what they have to say. I'm not particularly fond of their betrayal or what they did to lead us, so let's see what they actually have to say for their own apology.
Well, they are giving us a giant mech that may help temper the situation. Lord, if you'd like to come too.
Yes, I think that would be appropriate.
Okay.
I can carry you, or you can float. It's up to you.
I'll let Goldwater walk me over there then.
Oh, I thought you were offering that to me.
I can try to carry you, Navad. You're not very heavy.
I'm pretty sure Pickles could carry Navad if need be.
Yes, I'm pretty scrawny.
All right, so we'll bring everybody back over.
All right. The little guy has used the remote, the cable remote, to make it walk a little bit, and while Tank's standing there, you see him making some adjustments to the hydraulics. Just for the record, sir, it's pretty clear you're superior to a treaded tank in pretty much every way.
Thank you. That might actually be the nicest compliment anyone's ever given me. I'm not going to lie. What's up with the mech? Why the adjustments now? I assume this thing's been through the ringer already.
It's never been even field tested. They've been putting it together as fast as they can. Try to bring it here to help.
Huh.
It's experimental. I mean, I've tested it on the range, but we don't have any cats.
And what does the cat have to do with its capabilities?
So it has a neural crown, and it's actually built to be driven by an ultra cat.
Oh, that changes everything. We'll take it.
I think as he says that, Navad and Pickles walk up.
No, hold on.
We're taking it.
He doesn't speak for this entire group. What did he just agree to?
I don't know.
And the little guy shuts up, and Epsilon turns and says, my designation is Epsilon. I'm afraid I don't know your name.
You can call me Professor.
Professor. We were hoping to help the forces of Bastion with their attempt to remove the warlord curse.
And the change of heart comes from...
Curse betraying us and resulting in Skyfire coming down on us. And he again shows you the heavy radiation scarring.
And to be blunt, as the Ultra Cats tend to be, you didn't foresee this coming the entire time when you allied with somebody like Curse.
So at the time we interacted with your people, I was a lab assistant. Most of the previous leadership is either dead by Skyfire or dead by restructuring.
Well, if that is indeed the case, and this is actually an apology, what's the purpose?
Revenge. In addition to simply wishing to help you, because we believe that there's no way that Curse's primacy will be any good for Texan. And if Texan's taken, the region beyond. But also, my lifespan is maybe 2 years at this point after the damage I took. Our focus right now is developing cybernetics so the survivors of the Skyfire can survive maybe another year, maybe 2.
All right, that's understandable. And you're not wrong. Curse left unchecked means worse things for Texan and worse things for all the surrounding areas. How many of you are left?
Less than 2 dozen.
And your supplies?
Fortunately, the supplies are relatively good because everything, one of the reasons we lived is we were in a concrete bunker and we moved as much as possible down and shielded it. And we're already developing things to remove some radiation from food supplies. Considering how many people used to live there and the short likely lifespan going forward, 24 is something we can definitely support. There's a woman who wronged some of your number. I wanted to be clear to you that she was restructured.
All right. And this, Pickles gestures to the mech. This is what exactly?
It's a war machine. I believe Tank would be able to explain the use of something like this in battle.
Cats drive it.
The very short form would be cats drive it, yes. Or hopefully they do, because as you know, editor flag, cats and dogs mostly died out after a plague. The reason for the existence of ultra cats is there were genetic experiments done to make a new breed of cats that could survive. Unfortunately, the cats turned out to be smarter than their owners. So instead of being neat little toys and pets, they turned out to be dangerous and went underground. Flash to now. Point being, in this setting, there aren't a lot of like street cats and street dogs. They died. But there are ultra cats. So he tells you, we think, because we have an adapter that we're able to test on humans, but we have a neural crown. And assuming everything is as it should be, you should be able to walk and fight with this thing.
He also said it shoots garbage.
He nods. He's not wrong.
Would you like to try it?
I would kind of like to test this.
So judging by your response as a player, I think maybe somewhere in there, Pickles' tail twitched.
More than likely.
Okay. So they help you up, and there's a little like cat chair, and there's a neural crown, so the thing that comes down, and the goblin tech will help and helps get it to the right size. We had to guess, and it's pretty easily done. Then the top comes down, and across its head it says Bast.
Ah.
All right, make a willpower save, please.
Cool. Yay. I saw that coming a million miles away. Let's see. I'm going to hopefully throw these 5. 6, 5, and 2 3s.
Okay, so you're going against a 4. So how many scores did you get?
That was
2.
So that's 2 scores to success. All right, quick movie trivia quiz. What's the movie about experimental jets in which the line "Think in Russian" appears?
Stealth?
Experimental jets.
Yeah,
Experimental jets?
I think it was red. It was red something, because it was a jet you had to put on, and they stole the plane from the Russians because the Russians were bad at that time. And you had to think in Russian to get the neural connection to it.
Mike, are you sure you just didn't have a dream and you think it's a movie?
I'm absolutely certain this is a thing. There's somebody in chat. I'm
gonna take a look. Wow, Firefox.
Thank you, chat.
Has the highest security rating on the internet. It's a great movie.
Yeah, Firefox is awesome, and Firefox. The reason I mention it is so Pickles.
Holy cow! Geez, we're old, Mike. That's from 1982.
Yeah. No comment, buddy.
Okay.
So Pickles. The reason for the reference is, it's not like thinking in Russian, but there is definitely like a think in Mech. So you have control of your own limbs, but you have to think a little differently to make the artificial limbs of the mech move. And that takes a little, like, with a bit of a mind flip. You have to, so you have to get into that. So you start to move and you see the thing kind of stagger forward. And it's pretty clear this will work, but it's going to take probably 2-3 days of just fucking around with it.
Ugh. Okay.
But it does feel fairly amazing because you would feel the mass. So as opposed to being, you weigh what, 1.5 pounds, or whatever the fuck, like this thing is huge.
Can actually do some damage in battle now. Like that. Like the hell out of that.
And the mass driver is pretty mighty. And it doesn't run off because it's a mass driver, it doesn't run off of bullets and it doesn't run off it accelerates mass. So you can, like Tank said, it shoots garbage. Just fill the backpack with stuff the right size and we'll feed it into the driver.
All right, out of character. This fucking rules.
But the cat would never give the satisfaction, right?
Absolutely not. There's no way Professor Pickles would ever just like give a grin. Wow, this is exemplary. No, absolutely not. There's going to be some mild passive aggressive shenanigans in 2 seconds, but out of character, this fucking rocks. This rule.
We got a mech for our cat.
Cat Mac. So the thing opens up and the tech adjusts a few things for you and gives you some advice and says, I think it's just calibration. So as you use it, you get more and more steady, and it's partially you, but it's partially the onboard system. So you're learning it, it's learning you, and basically says, in not these words, it's like getting attuned in D&D. You're going to need like 3 days, and only a cat can attune. So not only is it a cat Mac, it's Pickles cat Mac. So you have to actually, so if another cat was to want to drive it, that cat would also have to spend a couple of days learning the machine learning them. So it's going to be unique to the operator. Epsilon says, I hope you're pleased. I had hoped for a backup missile system and for a longer run time, but we have limited assets right now.
Where are you currently located?
Oh, it didn't destroy the dome.
So you're
We're
still at the
on
dome.
There's not a lot of better places than a concrete bubble.
I suppose that's true.
I mean, fortunately, it's radioactive, but we are halfway between goblin and ghoul at this point. Those of us and our assistants are all goblins because the goblins don't mind the red zone, but it's effectively an interior red zone. So, but we're so far gone, it's not really affecting us. Don't come visit though.
Pickles looks to Goldwater and telepathically, is there anything else we need from these people that we could use as far as, I mean, their lifespan is heavily stunted. We're looking at a very small window of them being viable to fight against Cursed. And if they're willing to do it, what can we do to help them get their revenge and help our cause?
In the short term, we need anything that would be an offensive or defensive weapon. In the long term, we need them to either give us access to or offload all of their useful technology.
You think they'll go for it?
Well, we can always wait for them to die and then go get it.
I mean, there is always that option, but we're looking at 2 years.
I know.
And I don't
That's
think
right.
Curse is going to wait 2 years while these people peacefully die off. He'll either go in and finish the job and take what's there, or
That's a good point.
just take over.
Well, it's going to be a negotiation. We'll have to see what they want.
Then
Are
it's
we
all
all
you,
standing
Goldwater.
here? Are we all just standing here staring at each other awkwardly while y'all have this psychic conversation?
I think so.
I mean,
yeah.
you can be having your own conversation.
Yeah.
I think the cat's like eyebrow would go up occasionally. Yeah.
So is this an
yeah.
olive branch or an offer for an alliance?
Also, good point from Josh. If you aren't regularly around people that have telepathy, you don't know that they're having this. So as far as you know, everyone's standing around kind of being a dipshit, not saying anything. It's a little weird.
So Epsilon, is this a gift, or are we looking to make some sort of alliance?
We tried that. Our leaders at the time were arrogant. We were, in fact, better armed and informed than most of the people of the wasted world. And look where it got us. No, this is a gift.
Well, we appreciate the gift. If you change your mind, you know where to find us. And if Curse comes for you, I hope you're ready.
Pretty much everything that survived is now being wired as defense. Trying to get inside the dome at this point is suicide.
Well, once we wrap things up with Curse, perhaps we can talk more.
You could send someone to come if they're resistant to radiation. I believe among your number, you have at least one goblin, right?
That's correct. And we have other allies that are goblins. It doesn't necessarily need to be one directly from our crew. I'm not sure how Eric would be in negotiating trade.
Sounds like a goblin-centric episode down the line.
I would like that. My alternate character is a goblin, so
We already have 3 because we have them, we have Twofer, and we have Eric.
Yep.
So all we need is maybe one more and we're good. Like a guest goblin, like on Batman. Today's guest goblin. All right. So he helps. You'll have to call your people over because, like you said, he's got a generator and then the stuff necessary to charge the capacitors in the machine. So he'll load that on the garage and explain how to load it onto a truck for when you want to leave. Which of you has, well, you probably have him tell Wrench because none of it, I mean, Pickles has scientific knowledge, but isn't really an engineer, is more a conceptual, like Pickles is a fucking physicist. Like Wrench is probably more in the order of what you're looking for. So he'll explain, like, this is up to this, here's what you have to do to break it down. So Epsilon and his sidekick are there for about 3 hours. And you're able to walk it around a little bit. You're able to fire the cannon, which is very gratifying. The power of the thing is kind of like a heavy rifle or a minigun. So just a kaboom kind of a thing. So elephant gun-like. And when you fire it, there's a charge and then it shoots. So there is a lag, but you can adjust for that. All right. I am going to cut to a day later, partially because that was a lopsided engagement encounter. And before lunch, so around 11, one of the people on guard comes looking for Goldwater. Agent Goldwater, sir.
yes.
There's a mail carrier approaching on a motorcycle.
Oh, good.
I thought you'd want to know. You seem very about services.
Yes, public services. This is a good thing.
I didn't mean to. I was trying to understand.
No, I'm sorry if it came across harsh. I'm glad the services are working. I'll step outside.
So a male character who is in fact also a goblin, but it's a goblin in a makeshift letter carrier uniform. So blue actually has a couple of actual patches they found and then put onto the uniform. It's loaded with bags. So this is a little like a cross between an actual mail carrier and somebody that's, so it's a little like the mailman, like you'd have over a horse, like you'd have the very early days, like there's saddlebags on his motorcycle. And it's very heavily loaded. And he comes up and parks, sir, Carrier Blakely here, sir.
Hello, Blakely. How goes it?
Mail call. Can you believe it?
I want to believe it.
The president has made it a priority to get as many services up and running as possible. Credit to you, by the way. And we've, because of the phones, we've been able to get communication. And I've actually got a route.
Fantastic. What's your route?
And he starts explaining. And 40 minutes later, he's got old maps and he points his new places.
Fantastic. I love it.
And we understand you're currently, you have soldiers here, right? There's a forward location.
That's correct.
I got letters to the front for your people here. And that's this bag here. And he's got like a messenger bag. But this one here, it's like a duffel bag. This is for your commander.
Okay.
Can I deliver these? Here, he hands you the mail call for the soldiers. We hand that over to you. Can I deliver this directly to the commander?
Sure.
Okay, so tank midday. Would you be doing 1 billion push-ups, making traps, watching old videos? Like, what's he up to?
Let's see, midday. I probably do a workout in the morning and evening. So afternoon, I would say is probably my trap time. I don't mean the muscle. I mean the trap, a literal trap.
Well, you got to keep them both in balance, right? You got the traps of both kinds. So he comes into your probably the garage, which would be also the workshop, and as described, he's got a big bag. Sir, thanks, sir. I've got fan mail.
Fan mail? Who would be sending me fan mail?
And he does. This is not going to make me appear any younger, Shannon.
Okay, that's fine. You're still
Christmas movie. So this is the scene where you pour the letters from Santa over the desk. That was Miracle on 34th Street, right?
Yeah.
There's a similar scene also in a I'm gonna forget his name, but the courtroom drama where they do the same thing. So he pours out
Mr.
this.
Smith goes to Washington, is what you're
Thank you, sir. And 1 point for Gryffindor. Well, these things have tank, where the address is tank. Some of them, the address has a child's drawing of a tank. And a lot of these are like fan mail from kids. One says, like, you hold it up, it says, Mr. Tank, thank you for saving the country. Like that kind of stuff.
What has there been some sort of publicity campaign that I wasn't aware of? I've just been out here detached on the front lines.
So we flash back to the montage from the last episode of him literally doing the Captain America thing and going across the country like, I'm Tank and we can win.
Sorry, I guess the brain fog's back. But yes,
it's all good.
I've gotten clarity. You're right. I remember that tour I was on that would have warranted the fan mail. Wow.
Well, it's also the stories. I mean, people have been telling stories. I mean, I'm got to admit, I'm anxious to hear how many of them might be true, but some people claim you're a cyborg, and the reason they call you Tank is you're actually a tank. Is that true?
No, and I'll tell you why, because a tank can't go everywhere, but this tank can. I just proved that to a fellow the other day, and the only biomechanical thing around here is a mech driven by a cat, apparently. The rest of it's all me. It's all patriotism. It's all determination. Everything you've read's probably true, except the stuff about me being a cyborg. That is not.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, you should know the reason for these letters is we're all getting through this terrible trouble with this curse fella because we know the boys are out here fighting for us, and we know that you're at the front leading the charge, sir.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. Sometimes the mission is everything, and you don't really think about the people that it affects. And if I'm able to inspire even one child who poorly draws a tank on a letter, then that's just one more thing to fight for, I think. And we're doing really good. We've rescued 3 settlements, probably more. And just let them know, I guess, back home, if you can send a message back, just let them know we're winning. We're doing it.
He turns to Goldwater with a tear in his eye. Can I send a message back? Yes, I can certainly send a message back, sir. It is the job of the postal office and the municipal services of this U.S. of A. Proud to serve. And he pours them all out, empties the bag, salutes clumsily because he's not actually military, and leaves, leaving you alone with Goldwater.
Congratulations.
It's not why I do it. I do it for the cause, for the mission. These kids mean nothing to me, but I'm glad they get a chance to draw. Recreation's important.
Well, whether you know it or not, or whether you find it personally gratifying, people need something to rally around. And if it's you, it's you.
That's fine, sir, but this letter time is really getting in the way of me making new traps, and I had some really good ideas.
You don't have to read them, Captain. I'm not saying that you do.
Well, what do you want me to do with them?
Let someone else read them.
Can anyone else read?
Most of us can.
Give them to the cat, then. I know that cat can read. probably likes clawing them up. Probably needs
Professor will not care about those letters.
well, it needs like probably like one of those posts, you know, cats used to have, I hear tell of the things that they're called something, but they claw the posts. Like they could probably claw the paper and call it a day.
I'll read them, and if there's anything important, I'll tell you.
Perfect. Check them for arsenic too.
Part of the legend that's not going to make it into circulation of the Legend of Tank is the time when Tank was given fan mail and his advice was make it into a scratching post for the cat. So one of the other soldiers will actually find a box and just put the stuff in and kind of removes it. All right. The following day, it's getting to the point where you're a little concerned about the return of your forces. Like they are definitely late. I am going to go ahead and make the narrative decision that you send a group of 4 after to report rather than going out personally. So you're down to 4 people with guns with you at the facility. At this point, I need a sense test, magic flavor from Lord Nevad.
Okay, sense test, baby. Hold on.
I only mentioned that because sense is used to sense either specifically things wrong in an area. So it can be magical.
Oh.
It can also be things like rad zones.
How is
But-
my sense so poor?
It's against 4. Remember, you get a bonus against magic.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, it's against the 4, and I get a bonus
You get a bonus die.
die. Okay, cool. And this is against the 4. So I 1 score.
Okay, so that's a partial success.
Okay.
Partial success gives you mid-afternoon. You're feeling unwell.
Okay.
It takes you a little while to figure out it's not being sick. It's an unease that you're finally able to determine is magical. So you head outside to be out of the area where everything's wet drum headed. Give me another sense test.
Okay.
This is against a 3 at this point.
Oh, okay. So now I have 3 scores. So I went outside. I cleared my head, and I'm getting a better sense of things because I had three scores there.
So Pickles is with you, just hovered along with you because you've been kind of hanging out.
I had a little. Okay, love it.
Little cat next to you.
Hover cat.
Pickles, he looks a little unwell, goes outside, just says to you on the way out, like, I just need to be outside for a minute. You both go outside. There's a deep breath of, oh, this is good. And then like the guts twisting kind of crumples forward.
Mm-hmm.
Something bad is coming.
Pickles. This is not good.
Oh,
Something is heading our way, and I'm guessing it's got powers of some kind because it's
That's magical. This is not like you're not picking up or about to be attacked by a raider gang. You're picking up
right.
stuff,
No, it's like there's
something
magical
yeah.
powers are heading this way. Or is about to happen. I don't know if it's directional or temporal.
You got exceptional. So I'm going to give you from that direction, and you think it's about an hour off.
Ah, okay. I don't know what to do to get us ready because I don't know exactly what the nature of this threat is, but it's supernatural.
it's supernatural. It's
Yeah.
an hour away.
Yes, roughly. I don't know. It's like I can feel a shadow moving towards us at a certain pace, and that's probably how far away it is, but I don't know what it's a shadow of.
And you don't also know if it's like an hour, and that means it's a really long way moving slow, or it's kind of close to moving fast.
Right.
No,
It's Pickles. It's really weird.
Speed is arbitrary.
well, the speed is just you don't know distance to speed, but you do know when it's likely to show up. You're pretty sure of that. So you don't really know how far away it is because you don't know the rate of travel.
I think we need to
We should
tell.
fortify. We should batten down and immediately tell Goldwater and Tank immediately.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. So they're having a conversation about candy bars.
Okay.
In Captain.
Yep. Tell me more about the candy bar you like.
So they're energy bars. They're not candy bars.
Oh,
And they can be incredibly addictive. We've seen them take down some very people with a lot of willpower. So if you see these bars, do not eat them.
I don't understand it. I don't see the problem with more energy. I feel like if
No,
you have an addiction to more energy. Well, okay, so you like working hard. Sorry.
No, they're addictive. They're addictive. What were they called, Mike?
Oh God, you pulled that out of the air. I was just being a bastard.
No, they were called Think Thin.
They're called Think Thin bars. And if you are taking your life in your hands, if you have these.
They were actually, so it's possible the Tank might have run across flyers.
Sexy
where
Thin.
Trained.
Sorry.
Sexy,
It was
because-
Sexy Thin, not Think Thin.
because they were marketed to the military before the fall.
Oh yeah, I think I used to hawk those on my tour. Pretty great. I had a sponsor deal.
Have to stop. You're hurting people's lives with these bars. They are not that sexy and they will not make you thin. They will make you addicted and they might make you die.
At that point, the VOD and Pickles show up.
Can you believe he was telling people to eat the sexy thin bars? Lord, can you believe this?
I wasn't just a promoter. I was a customer.
I got something is moving this way. Something supernatural.
Oh, where is it? How is it? On the building?
It's like I don't know what it is. It's going to be here within an hour. It's moving from that direction. I think we need to get prepared.
I mean, can you give us any more information? I just learned there were male goblins. What else can be on the horizon?
It could be any number of things, but it could be angels themselves. It could be
Good. Sort of leave maybe instead of trying to defend this place.
Do you want to leave everything we have here
Well, we can load up the vehicles with as much as we can carry.
in an hour and everyone?
It should be an option.
You want me to load up all 4 of my men?
Yes, all 4.
You have some supplies here and probably 1 motorcycle, but everything else is out on recon.
Oh, crap. All right, well, never mind. All right, well, I'm going to go up on the roof and scout see if I can get eyes on this thing.
Okay.
I'll grab one of the walkie-talkies and just head up.
Is there any way to understand, Nevad, that it's dangerous? How do we know it's dangerous and not a friendly thing?
It didn't feel friendly. It felt. Look, have you ever had a anxiety attack?
Yeah, when I ate too many of those energy bars.
Right. Imagine that, but you knew that it was coming. Like you knew that in advance. Anyway, this is a horrible metaphor. It's bad.
Understood, sir.
So you go take a look and you're able to see through like the binoculars or like a weapon scope, a dark cloud is coming. So it looks a little like a very fast onset storm. So Texas, we already have these fucking things where you look off to the right and it's like, that's going to be here in 10 minutes. But it's darker.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you see twilight approaching at speed.
Tank lowers his binoculars and looks coolly back and says, "Tut tut, it looks like rain."
Tank, With utmost respect to your military career, shut up.
Sorry, Cat.
Navad,
Yeah,
what are we looking at?
it could be. Look, we've met up with a lot of messed up stuff. It could be the spirit of all the dead people from the past century in this area coming to get us. It could be Jesus. It could be
I've met Jesus. Jesus does not look like that.
No, I know. But it could be like, it could be this area's, because that was just that area's manifestation of Jesus, literal. I don't know. It's bad though.
It's been about 10 minutes at this point, and Navad, there's still like a nagging, like your gut hurts.
Okay. It's specifically in my stomach.
Sure.
Okay. Can I kind of send out mental energy towards the mean cloud?
Do you have a specific ability that work for that, or do you need to try
No.
to do it by spell?
Just trying to sense it. I don't have like a spell or anything for that
Well,
divination.
you do, however, have
I have like divine spells, but they're not. They're more on the.
this sounds like improvised magic, like because this, I don't think anything you have will work over this kind of range.
No.
But this is the province of it. If you wanted to try an improvised spell, you could.
All right, let's give it a go.
Because you definitely have the abilities you would need to do it.
I'm gonna see if this cloud is sentient or if it has an agenda.
That makes sense. Okay. All right then.
Ooh, now with the new rules, I don't. How does improvised magic work?
All improvised spells are made with a difficulty of 5.
Okay.
All Testacat's improvised spells with approximately the same power as the existing spells are made at -1 die. More powerful spells are made at -1 or 3 dice. I'm only going to say -1 because you're just trying to sense.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and make the roll.
Okay.
So this is rough because it's going to be
a difficulty of 5 and down a die.
Correct.
And this is on my divine check, not my
correct. If you're willing to take a little time, you can get the 1 die back.
Well,
you can take a couple of minutes as opposed to a round. You can get a die back.
Let's go for a die back because I do think it's going to be hard to get even with 5 dice.
I was going to try something as well. This may be a long shot, but I do have telekinetic shout, and I could try and make contact with it from a distance.
So I think there's a very specific range on there. Let me check.
That's like a
60 yards.
Okay.
It's like a cat stage whisper.
Yeah, you're talking about 2 miles.
Okay.
Because you want to do something in a cloud, right? Okay, so go ahead, Navad. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, let's see what I can get. Okay, I got 1 success out of 5 dice.
Okay, so 1 score. Which is partial.
Okay.
The spell costs 4 hits and 2 wounds.
2 wounds. Okay, so I just like fried my brain a little bit here.
Well, that's not. We don't know.
We don't know what I hurt.
And it's no, it doesn't work like that. That's injuries.
Right. Oh, gotcha.
When you're enough damage, that's just extra owie.
Okay.
The difference between hits and wounds is wounds come back slower.
Right.
It's just hits, kind of a joke because 10 minutes, so they come back. So having wounds makes it more durable. Okay, so a warp result means it doesn't do exactly what you anticipated. So you reach out, is it alive? Make a willpower save.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice. Against
3. I don't think you're
gonna okay. That no problem. I got a 5, a 4, a 5, and a 6. So I can keep rolling the 6. I got another 4. So I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scores.
Okay, so you referenced before a storm that was the collective spiritual and undead energy of what area was it?
It was Corpus. It was Corpus Christi because it was the desiccated corpses of all the people from Corpus Christi.
That's right.
Corpus Christi.
Yeah, it's Corpus Christi.
Oh my God, Corpus Christi!
Yep, that's what they are. Corpus
They
Christi.
got fried in the nuclear fallout, and they are Corpus Christi.
Well, if there was ever an episode title for this one.
Oh my God.
So that was the intended joke. Did it take a year to fucking land? Oh my God. Oh, wait, let me get this out of the way.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah. So is it's giving me vibes of that cloud?
So point being, it says similar energy,
Okay.
but it isn't. Corpus was a tempest. It was a storm.
Uh-huh.
This is something else, but you think it's the same kind of effect.
Okay.
So it's a magical thing caused by death during the fall. You don't know what it is yet, but that's what it is, and it's heading your way.
Okay. I'm going to convey this to the group.
Okay.
And Goldwater would have heard stories of this even if he was not in that. Were you in that episode? You were. That's right. So Goldwater, if you remember when we got the pirate ship the fuck off back, and that storm was the embodiment of all the previous dead. This is similar. It's not the same, but it's caused by something similar. It's the undead from this area or something along those lines, and that's what's moving towards us.
So are we dealing with, is the storm the problem, or is there something moving towards us physically and the storm is just following them?
You think the latter.
Yeah, there's something, yes.
So we should be expecting an assault.
Of some kind, but
An
whether
assault
that's
on Bunker 13.
whether that's physical or psychic, I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're expecting. Sorry, man. My dad jokes involve game writing.
No, I don't mind.
All right, so are you going to stay here or move out to meet the enemy, or just leave?
I don't think we can move fast enough to leave.
I don't think we can move fast enough to leave either.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to. I think we need to stay in here and ready defenses.
Do you power up Bast?
Absolutely.
Okay. So lots of chunk kind of noises, and you got plenty of ammo. You have a full backpack. A lot of it's just nibbled like Tootsie Roll chunks of rebar that they had a cutter and they just gave you it's a whole box of those they left with you for until you start loading your own ammo. All right, it's almost 8:30, so we're going to go ahead and take a 5-minute bio break. Before we jump back into horrible darkness, happy birthday, Colt!
Happy birthday, Colt.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Cole.
birthday, Colt!
Without Shadow Colt, this would all go less smoothly and just be a lot less fun. So thank you for being there, visible or invisible. All right, back to the darkness. The dark cloud approaches. Will you be ready to meet it outside or inside?
I think
Well, with Bast, it might be better to be outside. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do is
Yeah.
I get inside.
yeah.
Okay, the 4 people with guns can be inside, but in places where they can fire out.
Yeah, I like that.
They would wait for tanks instructions.
Yeah.
All right. We begin the encounter at far, and here's what happens. You see that what's generated, what appears to be generating the cloud, is a massive humanoid construct made of the remains of what appears to be a small Texas town. So its legs, its limbs, its torso are all a hodgepodge of bodies fused together, born of nuclear fire, pain, and despair. It stops as you realize what it is at this far distance and begins to shriek with all of the terror, all of the despair, all of the agony of its collective consciousness. So we're going to go around, and I'm going to need right, here we go. A willpower save against a 3.
Okay, from
Everybody.
everybody. Willpower against a 3. Do you want to go in a particular order?
No, just figure out how many scores you get.
Okay.
If you get 1 score, you've got a partial. If you get 2 scores, you've got a success. If you have 3 scores, you have an exceptional success. If you fail with no scores and don't get any 1s, you botch. So basically, we need to know, as long as you all know what you got,
Yep.
I'll tell you what those things mean.
Let's pretend that one of our characters is a soldier that has brain fog sometimes and doesn't know what any of that means. I'm gonna guess he's gonna roll 5 things.
Your willpower is 5,
Yep.
did you say? So you roll 5 dice.
Well, I don't know. I roll 5 dice. Okay.
Right, and you're looking for 3 or better. Any die that gets a 3 or better is a score.
Okay.
So we need to know how many of the dice score.
Okay. I got these giant dice. And, very exciting. I think these are radioactive. They were normal this morning, and I came back from this afternoon. Now they're evil. I'm gonna roll these.
Well, either that or you've been hit with a shrink ray.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys! I got these dice. Tiny tank.
3 or better.
Do we re-roll the 6s again? Still?
Always.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do I tell you now? Do I tell you after?
So you tell me, because I'll interpret that. Everybody else should.
I got a score of 3. 3 are better than a.
So 3 of them? Okay, that's an exceptional success. Did anyone get a partial or worse? Okay. So a partial, you take 3 hits.
Okay.
Did nobody else got a fail?
I got an exceptional.
Okay, so Goldwater, what's your willpower?
4.
Okay, so you're fine. So you're going to take those 3 hits. That means you do take 1 wound.
Okay.
All right. And at this point, you realize it's not going to come closer. So the first round of any conflict is to set it narratively. After that, we use initiative. It's obvious Bast is going to be going last. I think Tank, being the military person, would go first. What do you want to do?
Uh-oh. I guess I better think real hard about my abilities while I look at my download folder.
I'll go ahead and call up your character sheet in case you need the assist.
Thank you. Let's see. Tank feats.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, so once per battle, you're going to be able to use the command attack, which will give everyone an extra attack, which is super useful.
Yeah, let me do that. That sounds super useful. I was just thinking that.
Okay, so the first thing that happens is Tank issues an order to attack. I don't think we've had the command actions used in game yet, which is nice. So that means I'm going to check if there's a limit to, it's only 1 person or all. Let me check. Command, while actually using rules, it's crazy, right? 1 allied combatant. So who do you want to give an extra attack to? It kind of looks like the best armed person is Goldwater.
Yeah, give it to the tax man.
Okay, so the tax man cometh. You can do 2 attack actions.
Okay.
So at this point, it kind of looks like the poster to The Thing. So just a dark mass with kind of supernatural radiance coming off of it. And you want to shoot it, or do you want to spend your round getting closer?
I need to get closer if I'm going to be effective at all.
Well, what's the SMG is good? What, at close?
It's good at near.
Or near. So because you've got an action and then the command, it takes a round to change one action, a complex action to change range category. Because you've got both, you could use your action to get closer and then just and open fire.
Or I could just shoot twice, right?
You could just shoot twice at the longer range, yes.
I'm going to do that. I don't want to get ahead of everybody.
Okay, so go ahead at the range. The difficulty is determined by range, and
4 better.
make your attacks.
So 5 dice. 2, and 1 explodes. I got 2 successes, 2 scores.
2 scores is success, so you do your normal damage with the first attack. Go ahead and do it. Its defense against firearms is 4.
Okay.
So you're rolling your damage dice, looking for 4 or better for scores.
Ooh, 3.
And again, the 6s would re-roll if you get any. Okay, so for every success you get at this stage, you're going to score a number of points of damage equal to the power of your weapon.
Okay.
So the SMG is what, a 2 or a 3?
On power?
Yeah. It's the third number on the level. 3. Okay, so that's 9 hits. So these have an attribute called mass, used for big things. So you divide the damage by 3, how big it is. So it's going to take 3 hits, which is still excellent.
Okay.
So want to go again?
Yeah, let's shoot again.
Okay. So if you come out, are you doing this from a window, or are you like out in front of the building?
I'm with where everybody else is, which I think is
Okay.
outside, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 2.
It sounds like you're shooting from shelter, probably until the robot comes out.
I got 3 successes that time.
Okay. And unless you have feats that take advantage of successes on the attack, it doesn't do anything extra.
I don't think so.
Might. Take a very quick look here. Without slowing you down. You have
Yes, like no.
Clear-
So raise the
clear
clip.
one up, yeah. You've got sure shot, which you don't need here because you succeeded. Okay, you're good.
Yep. Okay. So then I rolled 5 dice for damage last time.
Do the murder.
And then I get anything over a 4, you said?
It's defense against firearms is 4.
Okay, I got 4 that time.
Okay, so that's going to end up being times 3 divided by 3 for 4.
That's 4.
That was a shitload of damage, actually.
All
So
right.
a lot of that lands. So
I knew I trusted the right guy.
Avad, are you going to try anything at this range? What are you going to do?
Boy, like I'm not going to try anything offensive at this range. It doesn't seem like that's, I mean, it's too big. I don't think I'm going to do anything with it. I'm going to see if I can like get a little bit more of a sense of an agenda or mind behind it. So would this still be that improvised thing? Would this be something?
I think you've got a spell that gives you that, doesn't it?
Well, I have savvy, so I could like possibly read its intention from this far away.
Yeah.
All right, that's what I'm going to give it a go.
Savvy is to read minds. You have another one though. What's your other divine ability? It's read, right?
It's read. Yeah.
I think what you're looking for is read because you want to know more about it.
I want to know more about it. Right. Okay.
So go ahead and let me double check the range. Close range. And the problem is the range. Difficulty is 5 at close. So you got to be much closer.
Okay. So I'm too far. I'm still too far away.
Yeah, you're too far. You would need to like run closer.
So This is ill-advised, but no, I'm not going to move closer. I have a feeling it's going to move closer to us. So we're going to.
So you're gonna hang back a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, Pickles. You are in a powered up war machine. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna take a shot.
Okay, so you step out from the garage.
Yep.
Okay, the mass driver, you're gonna do a shoot with it.
Yes.
Do a shoot test. At that range, let me get you your number. It's gonna be a 3.
Okay. This is bad for me because I have 1. So let's just pray. Okay, so I got a 6
Reroll.
and another 6
Wow, yeah.
Reroll it.
and a 4.
Okay.
Okay, so that's an exceptional success.
That's
so
awesome.
you're going to roll 7 dice.
Ooh. Oh my
All
lord.
right. 4,
It's
5,
against
6.
a 4, but it's 7 damn dice.
Oh, you're gonna like this. So I got a 6 that I need to re-roll, right?
Yep. All rolls explode at this point.
Let's see. And then I have 2 4s, 2 5s, and then that's 6. And then I'm gonna re-roll that 6, and I got another 4.
So that's what, 6 altogether?
Total, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, your power with the mass driver is 4. So that's going to be 24 hits. So even divided by 3, that's still 8. You take its arm off.
Wow.
So
Cat mech. All right. It was I
Okay.
changed my dice, and that's what saved us.
So what is can we like what does that look like? Like what did we see
I
happen?
want to know what I just did.
kind of the disappointing part about mass drivers, right, is they don't really make big booms because they're a line of capacitors and high power magnets. So it makes kind of a, and then the result is kind of spectacular because it's like you would have expected like a gun off a ship to have hit. But
Okay.
honestly, railguns are damn near stealth weapons. They just an accelerated object of high mass to high speed and just blow things open. So the mech raises its arm, and the arm of the enemy comes off, and there is a wailing from the enemy. And at this point, it is going to come one closer, so it is now at close, and everyone has to make a willpower save against 4.
Against a 4. Okay. Good thing about good old Nevada is he's got good willpower.
Hard to be a mage without it.
1, 2. I'm good. I got a double exceptional. I'll hand out more.
So, Josh, you're rolling your 5 willpower dice, and everyone that gets a 4 or better is a score.
All right, let me just demonstrate. Here's my just tiny tank down.
Little Joshy.
4 or better. Here we go. 4 out of 5 are scores.
Wow.
Love it.
4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 scores here.
So you're good. So was it a partial or a failure? Partial. All right. So partial is going to be another 3 hits and another wound.
No. Stop it.
So just to reiterate, and for anyone listening, hits are kind of like, they go away. They're just kind of getting worn down. Wounds are actual damage. They go away over longer periods of time. The effective wounds is they will lower your maximum hits. So when you get hits back, you'll get less back because it will have brought down your maximum hits. Also, if you ever get brought to 0 hits, how many wounds you've taken will determine how bad that's going to be and how bad your roll is. Generally, and if you ever go to 0 maximum hits, if you get like a number of wounds equal to your maximum hits, you're kind of in a coma. Like you can't get back up to get wounds back. But you're not that far yet. You're just a little chewed up.
All right.
At this point, we're going to go in order of speed. So who has the highest speed number. Josh, all your combat shit is in the lower left-hand corner of your sheet in a combat summary box. Speed, I believe, is at the very top of that section.
I have eight speed.
Which means you be speedy. Anybody beat Nate? I'm assuming tank is king combat, right?
Yep, I'm right behind, but
Okay. Big, horrible, one-armed zombie whaler. What do you do? Tank.
Oh, I thought you were calling me that. I thought that's not a very nice way to talk about me. What do I do? All right, let me see what I got in my repertoire. Because
Well,
I
you've
already used attack, right? Which
You
gave
got an
some-
SMG. You could just shoot the thing.
Okay, well, let me try that. When in doubt, shoot. I always say.
There's the option to use the feat spray, which sounds pornographic, but is not.
Look at this. Fire an SMG, minigun, or similar.
hey, don't spray it. You know what I mean?
Know what I mean, Vern? That places your age right there, doesn't it?
You don't know who Ernest P. Worrell is. I don't know what you are. I don't know.
So spray.
Get
Fire
out.
SMG, minigun, or similar automatic firearm with a high rate of fire by spraying a small area with slugs, as well as multiple targets to be hit. You don't need that. You got one target. So just open fire. So roll your shoot and roll it like your save, Josh. So just roll your shoot number of dice, which should be, you roll 6 dice because you're a badass.
Oh, all right, hold on. It's one. Hold on.
Oh, no.
Let's see here. Okay, got that, and then I got one. Let's see. Okay, got 5 normal sized dice and 1 tiny dice. There we go. 6. Oh shit. Here we go. All right. All right. What am I trying to beat?
Hang on one sec. Too many sheets open, not enough monitors. Answering a question from Ghost Shannon. Where did your sheet go? I just had, there he is. Come on, tank. So at near, you're going against a 3.
So 3 or better.
Everything that's a 3 or better is a score.
Do I have to re-roll a 6? Did I understand that?
You get to rerolls, yeah.
Okay.
It's a good thing.
I got 1 6. Hold on, let me re-roll that. And it's a 6 again. Let me re-roll again. Is that right?
Yes.
Until you're out of 6s.
Okay, there we go. All right, so I am, if 3 or better is the rule. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Score of 5.
Okay. You have an ability called crit. So up to 3 times per battle, you can use an exceptional success with any firearm to do extra damage. You'll do an extra number of extra dice of damage equal to the number of dice that's scored over 2. Up to the limit of the feat's rank, you get 3 extras. That means, holy God. I don't think we've seen this. Well, he's tank. You're going to roll 8 dice.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll how many dice?
8 dice.
8 dice.
And you need anything that gets a 4 or better is going to score with this.
Okay. Let's just, all right, here we go. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. All right, guys. Here we go. All right, so I got 5 normal dice, 3 tiny dice. Here we go.
Tank is slowly getting bigger as
Oh, wait, what do I gotta do 4 or better. You said 4 or better?
4 or better.
Oh, that wasn't so good. I only got 2.
Okay, and that's going to be a 3, and that's going to, so it is now falling apart, like it's barely in one piece. So the next person that would go would actually be Goldwater. Care to try to finish it off there?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot it again. Here now.
I love that this walking town just kind of lumbered towards us and then just proceeded to get wrecked.
Don't call out the thunder if you can't stand the boom, I say.
It wasn't gambling on Cat, Robot, and Tank.
Cat, Robot.
Cat Mac, baby. Cat Mac.
Now you said that it is close, correct?
It's close, yes.
Can I switch to my shotgun?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna shoot with my shotgun.
Do it. Do it.
Make it happen.
Do it. See if I care. 2 successes, 4 better, right? 2
Okay,
successes.
so that's straight damage.
Okay.
Its resistance against B is 4.
3. 3 damage, so that's 3 damage.
Okay, and its mass is 3, so divided by 3 is 1, and it has 1 hit point left. So the shotgun blows at and it falls apart screaming, and Nevada, who was working a spell to pick thoughts up, hears them pass. So it's very poltergeist, right? You hear the tortured souls kind of being freed. That was about a fourth the power of corpses, to be completely accurate. So like, remember, corpses, you had to run. Like there was it was a force of nature. But this thing, especially with the help of Catbot and Tank, and Goldwater's double shots, you did a fuck ton of damage in a very short period of time. I am going to fast forward a little bit because I have we try to come in about another half an hour, so I want to make sure I get all the story in. So there's a celebration. You find out that the psychic force had knocked the other people in the building unconscious. They weren't permanently damaged, but you find them unconscious. So you bring them down to medical. They recover over the course of the day. They heard what you did. They heard the screaming, but they were not PCs. They were not adventurers. They were overwhelmed by the attack. That evening, your forces return. They've taken some damage, but they are in good spirits because they're victorious. They wiped out one of Curse's units. So they didn't free a settlement in this case, but they took care. You got some intel that told you where they were. They were trying to just recon. They ran into them, but they were able to defeat them. So there's a lot of wounded. I would like Tank, you're asked to go visit the wounded in the med bay. Was this something Tank would do?
I mean, yeah, if they're so who are these people? Are they my men?
They're they're all on your command, but they're half the people you've been training and half militia.
Yeah, I would visit them. Yeah.
Okay, everybody that's not Josh, you're a wounded person in the med bay, and Tank is escorted in, and it's looking a little bit like the video for one. So a couple people with the sheets over there. My arm.
Oh, it's Tank. Hey, Tank, what's going on, man?
Hey, just checking in. Want to keep your morale up. How are you doing? How you doing, big guy?
I'm they don't know if they're gonna be able to save my eye or not, but I'm feeling great. I'm feeling good. I'm gonna look real tough one way or the other.
That's good. You did a good thing. You really came through for New America, and your new country salutes you.
Oh, great. Kirk, those cursed guys, they're no joke.
I understand. Have you gotten your free sexy thin bar yet?
Oh, I've been eating them like crazy. I would make me feel a lot better. I'm feeling no pain right now.
Perfect. That's what I want to hear. I want you back in tip-top shape, and I don't want you to feel any pain, even if that's purely a chemical reaction.
So I don't care. I don't care how it happens. I feel real good. I feel like I could get up right now and go fight.
Well, just hold your horses there. Just take the time it's going to take to heal up, and but we'll look forward to you on the battlefield real soon.
Thanks, Captain. Thank you.
Then the rest of you look great too.
In the interest of time, despite my intention to settle the other two of you with equal wounded soldier, upbeat, downbeat encounters, it proceeds in that fashion.
Okay. Well, why are you going? Anyway.
One of the medics finds Pickles. Professor, I just thought you should. By the way, I heard about the robot. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Somebody has to spell Navad. Oh no, Navad's here. Who do we lose?
We lost Goldwater.
Oh no. We're gonna need him.
We are gonna need him. Let's see if we can buy Goldwater some time to reconnect.
We can vamp.
We definitely can. So talking about the mech.
Hey, Pickles, you want to play 20 questions?
Let's play 20 questions about the mech.
No, I did have something to tell you. I did a count, and there are wounded missing.
They're wounded missing.
Yeah, they didn't come back with everybody.
How many?
6.
That's 6 too many. Do we know which people we lost?
Yeah. And passes a clipboard over to you.
Is there anyone especially pertinent on the list?
No, just kind of, as far as you can tell, random people. 2 of them are soldiers. The other 4 are militia.
Okay. Do they have any living relatives?
Oh yeah, we have all the information. The captain's second has all that information.
Send condolences to those that were lost and their family.
All right. We've got dead too, but these 6 are just missing. Here's the dead list.
The 6 that were missing. Do we know if they left? They fled battle or?
Oh no! And so you go check with the commander, who's not really commander, the person leading the expedition. Not sure. Lost track of them in the fight, and we searched for them before we came back. No sign. I mean, they may have been deserters. We may have just. It was pretty gnarly out there. We might have lost them among the dead, but I don't think so. I mean, I put them down as missing because we literally just couldn't find them.
All right. We'll keep a note of these 6, and they're not particularly notable. Just 6 that disappeared. All right.
You want to tell Tank, or should I?
I'll tell Tank.
Wow, thank you.
Tank.
What's up?
There appears to be a few of your men that have gone missing.
Do we know any further details? Were they captured?
No known information.
And I assume you have a list of the names. Do you have the roster?
Pickles slides with a paw over.
Well, you've got telekinetic manipulation too, so.
I want to slide it with a paw across the ground. I want to make him pick it up from the ground.
You know, it's got to be that super expensive non-special effect of the fake paw on the stick.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know these people. Nothing on that list calls out to you as like being suspicious.
You know, Professor, I have to say nothing on this list calls out to me as suspicious, other than the fact that you slid it to me on the ground, and it's not the best for my war knees to lean down and pick this up. You could have handed it to me or telepathically passed it. That's fine. That's here nor there.
I'm fairly certain I built you to be a super soldier, so those knees better be super strong.
Well, just because I rock doesn't mean I'm made of stone.
I've just added a action feature to your figure with the war knees.
Exactly. Now with war knees.
12 points of articulation. Check it out. I've got war knees.
Well, like a trick knee, it flips backwards.
Professor, you're the smart cat around here, not me. What do you make of these? What do you make of these missing peoples? What do we? Do you think there's something more sinister behind this, or is this just normal collateral damage, in your opinion?
Considering everything that happens out here in the wasteland, it could just be collateral damage, but it could just be that your men aren't as, strong of will as you would assume them to be, and they bolted.
Where would they have even gone? It was between us and a weird pieced together corpse guy, and there's male goblins too. It feels like no matter what way you go, there's something weird. It's probably scary. I don't know where would they have even run to? How are we doing filling this time?
You get the
just the idea of this pseudo Captain America looking at a cat and being just like, where are they gonna go? What are they gonna do? It's just so funny to me.
Later that evening, spotters anxiously call the three of you out and point to the distance. You see a truck approaching, an old glass repair truck, like a Glacier, the kind that support the big panes like that, covered in speakers and 6 bound prisoners. It also has a runner of lights, so that's all visible from a distance. As it gets closer, you hear the speakers saying, "Tank, come to the truck alone, or these innocents will die. No tricks."
It looks like they got your soldiers, Tank.
And they know my name, which is weird. I wonder if it's those damn children that were writing me letters. Well, I guess I'll go out and face them alone, because I probably can't die.
So do you
Anyone want to come?
Oh no.
Probably be fun. You want to bring the mech?
No.
Your assistant, the redhead with the ridiculous curves. Captain, you can't go alone. It's a trap.
Well, then go with me, you idiot. You red-headed idiot.
No wonder you inspire such loyalty.
I'm shocked they didn't run away sooner.
Phrases like redheaded idiot.
You fool! You dingus swine!
So as Tank and his lieutenant head out, what do I think Goldwater is having a particularly difficult elimination or something. He'll come back as soon as that's over.
Right.
Pickles and Nevada, what do you do? Tank, come to the truck alone, or these innocents will die. No tricks.
I encourage Tank to go out. No tricks.
Yeah. What? It's nighttime, right?
Yeah.
And it's all lit up.
Yeah.
So anybody moving around in the shadows is presumably not particularly visible.
Right, at a distance, it would be hard to see you. Yeah.
So I think Navad, just to sort of help out, is going to kind of flank off to the side. So if Tank is approaching from one direction, Navad's going to go off and be like 90 degrees off to the side.
So do you want to be with him all sneaky like, Professor, or do you want to be waiting in Bass just in case?
Oh, I'll be waiting in Bass just in case, because if I sneak around as in cat form, I'm not going to be exactly the most useful in combat.
Goldwater does something super competent.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you're approaching with the lieutenant. The truck stops, and you hear, and the face of one of the prisoners explodes out, and they sag dead. Alone.
All right.
Do I
So,
recognize the person? Can I see them, or what are they wearing? Are they have like bags?
Oh,
on
you
their
don't
head?
see the person driving at all. The
No,
way
I
the
mean,
thing
I
is
mean
set
the
up,
person whose head exploded.
that was Roger Ruiz, a nice guy. He would always make dinner for the crew. He had his own private supply of spices. He'd make you empanadas. He was talking about the girl he's about to marry.
oh no.
And that was one of the 6 who were missing on my roster.
Yep.
So I go, oops. Well, Lieutenant, I think you're gonna have to hang back for this. I might have muffed this up.
Oh my God. Oh, all right. And she gives her a kiss. Yeah, I hope you're right about that not dying thing.
I'm pretty sure in a 2-episode arc I can't die. In the second episode.
or you're bound to die.
I
One of
think
the-
the chance
We're
of
about to
people-
kill you, and then you'll have to roll a new
the chance
character
of
for
people
next
reading
time.
that backwards, sir. But okay. And she takes up.
I didn't take this super soldier serum from nothing and watch Home Alone 18 times to perfect my traps. I'm going in.
So you get a little closer, and the voice over the speakers says, "Leave your weapons. No tricks."
I feel like you keep adding parameters to this, sir. I yell aloud because you didn't say anything about other people. You just said no tricks. You didn't say come alone. Now you're saying no weapons. I mean, what's next? No underwear? Like, where do I draw the line here? Why don't you just lay your cards on the table?
A second face explodes. That was Miller. Miller was kind of an asshole.
Can I quietly ready Bast?
Yes, fortunately, because it's all electronic, and you're just charging the capacitors. That won't be all that audible from a distance. Once you start moving, though, it makes the ka-chunk, ka-chunk. It's kind of noisy.
All I
But
want to
then-
do is aim.
The problem is you're going to have to move it out of the garage to do that.
Okay.
Okay, so Tank, 2 out of 6 are dead. The voice says, "Leave your weapons. Move forward. No more talk of parameters."
What do you want? What's the point of this?
Approach, and I will tell you.
Well, all right. You've convinced me. I approach.
Do you put down the guns?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm carrying, but I'll
You have a pistol and the SMG. It's on the sheet. It's fine though. You put them down. As you approach, once you get about halfway from the guns to the truck, a man steps out of the truck. He is wearing black plasteel, which is molded plastic armor, kind of stormtrooper looking. On his chest is an upside-down American flag, painted as though it is splattered with blood. No skin is visible. He has a combat shotgun in one hand and nothing in the other. "Hello, brother."
Do you mean that literally?
"You have not determined who I am?"
Nope.
"Like you, I used to believe. I used to believe the lies. I volunteered and I was betrayed."
I know exactly what I want to do. Can I move Bast outside of the garage?
So you start flipping switches. So you're on your way. They locked me away and they performed experiments upon me. I escaped to look for answers. I found them at the Alamo.
Okay, but when you say brother, do you mean like genetically brother? Like, because I don't remember, and granted, I've got a foggy memory from the experiment, but when my mom was little and she taught me self-confidence in using traps, I do not remember having a brother, so this is a little abrupt, sir.
He pulls his helmet off. His face has been pulled. His skin is very tight against his face.
Ew.
And his flesh has been turned red and white. So where it's the dark places is still being shadowed, it's red. Highlights it's white, and his hair is blue. So he's literally red, white, and blue. I am as you are. I was before you.
Are you one of them dome people?
The Alamo, I learned what America actually is. I have sworn an oath to prevent it returning.
Who did you swear the oath to?
My God.
Huh. This is what's your name, sir? I'm sorry, I didn't catch
I
it.
have been reborn as Nemesis, the American nightmare.
Nemesis, I'm sorry, Mr. Nemesis or Captain Nemesis. I don't know your exact rank. I don't see a rank on your red, white, and blue shoulder. This is a lot to take in.
If you're a captain, I am a colonel, clearly.
Do you know how many ranks above a captain a colonel is?
Enough.
I think it's two. I think it's two, but
See those cameras on the vehicle.
It's 3 for the
Is
record.
it 3? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's overkill, but I accept it.
What are you saying, sir? Are you saying we work for the same government? Because you sound like the opposite of me. You sound like anti-New America, or maybe that's old.
That's precisely what I am. It's amazing that Rumsfeld here, my assistant, he has wired these cameras to Channel 8. Everyone will be able to see your failure.
Howard, sir, first of all, if you're on the other side, you don't outrank me because we don't work for the same military. Second, what failure? You mean the mutant ass we just kicked, the cloud man that's in pieces because of me and the mech cat? I don't think so, sir.
The what now? And the mech what?
Where the hell have you been for the last 6 hours of me rolling giant dice?
I was kidnapping your soldiers.
Why? You weren't even, were
clear.
you part of this? Are you part of the cloud man? Is this your doing?
What you're saying is insanity. What is this? Are you mocking my God?
Am I outside of the garage yet?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I want to take a shot.
From where you're at, it's going to be distant, but you can definitely take a shot. Distant with the mass drivers against a 4.
Okay. 4 or higher, right?
Uh-huh.
I got a 5.
So did you get, how many scores did you get?
All right, let's find out. 4.
Oh my God. All right. So and the plasteel is that. So you're going to roll your damage dice, which is 7 dice. His defense is a 5.
Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And then I re-roll these 2. I'm gonna re-roll them again.
The Pickles gives 0 shits, obviously.
Yeah, just like I'm gonna just
7 successes.
Oh my.
Okay, so that's going to be times the power of the weapon, which is 4, which is 28 damage.
Cool.
You hit him in the leg. You tear a giant chunk out of it. The armor flies off. He collapses to the ground on one knee. screaming. What he screams is now. Tank, what do you do?
So are we? Let's see.
You're standing at near range, so you're a little bit away from him, and he's super villain speechifying, and the cat comes out and opens fire with the master armor on him.
Let's see. Can I haymaker this guy just for just for fun?
We're just gonna charge him and just hit him with a couple of these.
I'm gonna be honest. This guy's wasting my time. I don't know who he is.
Give him a little shot of the American way.
Yeah, the new American way.
Okay. So yeah, haymaker. Hang on one sec. Yeah, you've got all the skills for this. Once per combat, you make brawl melee attack at a penalty of 1, 2, or 3 dice. Does an extra die of damage for every die you withheld. So is there a number? There is. What's your haymaker?
So I can either do 1, 2, or 3, but the less I do, the more potential damage it does.
You only have haymaker 1, so you can only subtract 1. So you're going to go ahead and roll 4 brawl melee dice, and you're looking for 3s. Oh boy. Oh shit! Your Slayer is going to work too.
All right, here we go. What do I got at 3 or better?
3 or better, yeah.
Oh, it's a 4. It's all 4.
All right. So Slayer. Okay, so if the damage roll is not great, you can use your Slayer ability to re-roll it with an extra die. So let's see how you do in the first attempt, because you might not even need it.
So I roll all 5?
No, not at all. Unarmed for you is going to be 2 dice plus 1 for the thing you just did, which is 3 dice. So you're rolling 3 dice. Unfortunately, it's against a 5. He's wearing plasteel.
I have to re-roll it if it's a 6?
You get to re-roll it if it's a 6, yes.
Ooh. You see, I get to like it's a choice. Does that mean I don't have to, or I do have to?
You should, because then you get to do cooler things.
Okay.
You don't want to do more damage?
I'm re-rolling the 6. Okay, now it wasn't good. So
Okay, so how many scores did you get? How many of them got what they did?
I mean, only that 1 6 that I re-rolled. Otherwise, none of those are 5s.
So you do a point of damage to him. So you're punching Stormtrooper armor. Not great. He looks so healed now. What happens at the next beat, and then I'll ask Navad, is there's 4 little explosions as the charges and the prisoners go off. Navad, what do you want to do?
I mean, I think like I'm going to be kind of rushing in from the side to see if I can like save these guys. I think it's probably too late, but we'll see if there's anything I can do.
They know what they signed up for.
That's I guess that's
Kind of, unfortunately, that's true.
Unfortunately, the skills you have, you don't have anything that would heal or stop it, right? Like your destruction and divination.
Yeah, correct.
So you could only.
I can run up and gather the info, which is like, oh yeah, these guys are in bad shape.
Yeah. I mean, you could read the person in the vehicle. You could read the enemy.
Okay, sorry. So there's a person still in the vehicle.
Yes.
Oh, then that's definitely what I want to do. For some reason, I thought Nemesis, Captain.
It wasn't crazy obvious, but it wasn't necessarily supposed to be.
Okay.
So he yelled now to the other person.
Got you.
Okay, so you want to do read.
Yes.
And you can be in close. So do you want to do it? Do you want to run in to be within close, or do you want to try to do it near?
I'm going to do it. I'll do it near. I don't want to get too close to it.
Okay, the difficulty will be 5 then.
Okay.
Reading people at range is tricky.
Okay, so that is a. Ooh. Oh, I love it. I got on 5 dice. I got one regular score and 3 6s.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
But then I got no additionals on the 3 that I rolled after that. So, but that's 4. So that was a.
Cool.
So I'm going to pick up some vibes off of this guy.
So you learn, because there's a whole list of things here that you get with all that shit.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a good roll. His name is, he has got a name, Rumsfeld.
Oh, right. We heard him say something about Rumsfeld.
His name is Rumsfeld. Who he's most loyal to? He is the most loyal to Dimitri.
Okay. And I don't have any insight as to who Dimitri is, except for it was probably the person
Who they
that was
most
just
fear?
shot.
Who they most fear? Dimitri.
Uh-huh.
Something or someone they really like. Dimitri is in love with Dimitri.
Yeah. Okay.
Caster, you got exceptional success. You can ask a simple question.
Why are you doing this?
Okay, so you're not literally asking the question, you're picking up information.
Right. That's the mental question I sent out.
Rumsfeld believes America is the great Satan, and America must not be reborn.
Okay. Well,
To a fanatical level.
Do I get a vibe of like where that comes from? Probably not. That's probably more nuanced than I could pick up in this.
I mean, it's not a weird, terrible jump to assume. He was probably the madman who's raving at Tank.
Indoctrinated him.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. But it sounds like, just from what I overheard in the conversation, and then I'm picking up, Nemesis, Red, White, and Blue Skull was possibly an early backer or enlistee or conscript into the New America thing, and now is diametrically opposed.
That absolutely scans.
Okay. That's all good info.
So at this point, Nemesis looks up, stunned, partially from blood loss, because 28 points is a lot. Looks at Tank and says, "But we're supposed to fight with the baseball bats and to prove our strength and the strength of our underlying ideologies."
I'm going to be honest. I still don't know who you are. I'm not sure if you're an ally of Corpus Christi or not. He's gone, so you're
What?
kind
No.
of either way.
You speak only madness. You are adult.
I kind of want to take another shot.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I step? I would step to the side so Kat can take another shot.
So you literally just take this in and just.
Okay, I got another 4, which means I do succeed.
God,
Oh, no.
I hate to say this, but Tank, it's another combat, so you have another command attack.
Okay.
So the cat could shoot twice.
So what do I? Do I need to do something?
Not a damn thing if you decide to do it. Just yell a command to the cat and it happens.
I yell a command at the cat. I mean,
Or you can jump back for your gun and go all.
yeah, let me jump back for my SMG. The haymaker was just, I mean, that was just for show. Now let's just, this bores me, I say.
All right. So go ahead, Pickles.
All right, rolling for damage. Oh, gods. Okay, well, that's 3 5s and 2 6s. Let's re-roll these 6s. That's another 6 and a 4. So that would be another 7.
28 more damage. So elsewhere, we take you to a small settlement, and I forget the name, and I know that Sabrina's on the chat. What's the name of the settlement that had the badger mayor? It was a porcupine. It's the one that Edgar was helping out.
That's where Eddie was.
I remember. Yeah. That
Eddie, right? It's that one. So it's mostly beasties. So it almost looks like Emmett Otter's Drug Bang Christmas. In the town square, like in a lot of the town squares in the wasted world, they have a pillar that has some still functional TVs on it. Back in the day, these were public, news outlets and things. In the wasted world, some of them would be repurposed. There's still Channel 8, also known as Channel Infinity, which is still broadcasting. Back from episode 1, B used to be a reporter who would slip in stuff Edison Carter style into the network. So what this guy has done is he's had Rumsfeld hack into Channel 8 to show what's going on. His plan, by the way, was to remove his armor, challenge Tank to baseball bat combat, and then beat the crap out of him on TV and prove that America was weak. Instead, we now see the small crowd of wasted world beasties. What it looks like from the camera angle they're in is Tank does a dive roll for his gun, comes up shooting, and it looks like this guy with the anti-American armor is blown to shreds, far more damage than SMG should do. And it looks for all the world, because it's not clear. This line of sight does not show Pickles, Best, the machine, or anything. So it looks like Tank has just blown the living crap it's palming the settlement out of this guy. And the entire settlement goes up in cheer and begins to chant Tank. And then we'll crossfade from settlement to settlement, kind of like the end of Empire Strike, not the end of the Star Wars, the first Star Wars trilogy.
Return of the Jedi, where the Ewoks are partying.
Yeah, totally, right? Different groups all like, Tank, Tank, Tank. And then Andreas as narrator would come on and say, this was the point that, looking back, we would see as the turning point. Things were different from that moment on. Tank was the hero we had needed. All right. That didn't go necessarily how I thought it might.
It went exactly how I thought it would go.
Look, when you have a couple failed experiments rolling around, you kind of got to clean up sometimes,
Just having a cat with a killer mech cannon on it is
You make a couple mistakes, Navad, and you got to clean them up.
Yeah.
Sometimes it involves, a napkin, and sometimes the napkin is a giant mech piloted by a cat.
But that's right.
And in some way, I think Goldwater was pivotal in how that went down, but I'm not sure how. But clearly he did something amazing and rolled all sixes. All right, so the aftermath of that is obvious in that your current advantages, you'll press the advantage. The forward position will move forward to move in on Curse and enter the last phase of the war to deliver the death blow and take him up for good, which will not happen in this episode. It will be part of the end of season 2.
Yeah.
We're handing off to Shannon as opposed to
as opposed to as well, not Barrett, because Barrett is not here. So I guess it's me. Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in for our special episode with Josh Flanagan. So big thanks to Josh, who did this episode with us in the midst of getting ready to move to California. So we wish Josh the best out there in Hollywood, which is what we were calling him, Hollywood Josh earlier. This show would not be possible without the help of Andreas Fabus doing our narration, Sabrina Grimstad in the chats doing our lore keeping, Breeze and others in the moderation, and last but not least, the birthday boy from a couple days ago himself, our technical director, Mr. Colt Joyce. Thank you so much. And until next time, we will see you in the wasteland.